We really are rolling. Oh, snap. All right. What's
sorry,
going
sorry,
on,
sorry,
man?
sorry,
We
sorry,
back.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying? We back. Got one of those business texts where I was like,
I know.
the panicking. We are back. Daddy Issues once again. Another episode.
Daddy issues for real today.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
Keon got both the boys.
Yeah, they
in
out
the
here.
Studio today.
They couldn't.
In the studio.
This will be the last time too. Kendrick about to start daycare.
Uh-oh. Kendrick, you
Just
ready
a
for
little-
these daycare streets?
Just a little half day. We took him by the place though. He was feeling it. He wasn't
Okay.
trying to leave.
Germ Central.
Yeah, oh man,
Kids are
germs.
flipped.
Germs is why this weekend, man. So we had to take Keelan to the ER because he got a cold, which made his asthma act up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was a quick trip though. Like it was like in and out, and we didn't have our machine because they packed away in the boxes at the house. So we did that. Then we bought him another machine and a travel machine, so we ain't worried about it. That's why I was so late today because he had to get on his machine this morning. And I didn't want to take him to school because I didn't want to put that on the teachers. Like if he had if his oxygen levels dropped or whatever, and they call me back in or so I was like, I'll just keep him with me today, do his routine because he got to do it every 4 hours until he gets back up to 100 or whatever. So I was like, I'll just keep him, but I'll be checking in with him. Like, how you feeling? He'd be like, I'm good.
I'm good. Pop.
His new thing is hitting his chest. That's his new thing, and it's so funny because like when he's sick, he still hasn't learned how to cough it up and spit it out.
Okay.
And it might not never go away because Cotty still don't know how to do it.
Wait, she just
she
coughs
can't
and
clear
swallows?
she can't clear her
It doesn't
throat
come
out.
up?
She was like, I don't know how to. She's like, she can't.
Okay.
So unless you cough hard enough to where it like comes out, she just be like, ah.
Right.
So he don't be getting it. So he be swallowing a lot of mucus, which makes him throw up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So he threw up like 3 times this weekend. But after he's done, he was just like, I was like, you good? He's like, I'm good. Like he's just beating his chest all the time. That's like his thing for everything. Anytime. He's definitely like, I remember when everything was a hard cough, throwing up. So he used to always like make him cry or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now he toughs out everything.
Yeah.
Now he's at that age where he's like, nah, I'm good. Let me just go back outside. Or let me,
Right.
You know, he don't be tripping. Even if he coughs and I could tell that cough hurt, he'd be like, ah. He just eats it. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, man.
I see.
I remember when playing was life, man. I remember when I caught the mumps as a kid. The mumps. I don't even know if people still get them.
I don't think so.
The mumps, because we had the vaccinations and stuff, but I ended up catching it. And so I was out. My glands was all swollen. I was sick, hallucinating. I was like, man. But, like, I was done. I was on the couch like Optimus Prime in the Transformers cartoon movie when he was dying. And then my boy Leon had the mumps same time. He was outside. He was like, can Anthony come out? And I saw him through the door, and his glands was swollen. I was like, man, you ain't dying, bro. I was like, and once I saw that, I was like, I could go outside. He was like, no, lay here. And I was like, oh, man. The mumps was tough, though, because it was like everything you swallowed hurt right up in here.
Oh, yeah. I never had that.
Man.
I had chicken pox.
Yeah, I was too young to remember when I had the chicken pox, so I was like, cool. I remember everybody else having them.
I got it in like one of them grades, elementary school.
Yeah.
And I got it, and I was the worst.
Yeah,
I was
I heard
like,
horror stories.
I was just itching.
I
it
was
was
in
terrible.
the oatmeal bag.
Yep, I was taking the oatmeal. But I remember I was old enough. It might have been, it was either first or second grade. But I was old enough where I didn't want my mom in the bathroom when I was taking the oatmeal bath.
Okay.
So I was like 7 or 8 or something like
Yeah.
conscious enough to be like, you can't be in here,
Right.
Mom.
So you was 17. That's you was 17.
In my head, I was 38. And I was
Yeah.
like, get out.
I'm trying to remember when I was tripping on like nudity.
I
feel
was little, but I was old enough
I'm
to be
trying to
like,
remember
get
when
out.
that kicked in, man. I definitely elementary school, but like I'm trying to remember when that. I feel like maybe first grade.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere around in there. Like, yeah,
I told Cotty that recently because she had got out the shower and she was changing. I was like, you got about a couple months.
Yeah.
And Keelan, you got it. You done. You in a house full of men. That's
yeah,
it.
you gotta
That's
cover it
it.
up.
You got a couple months, and then that's you done.
Now the dad on dad nudity.
Yeah,
that don't
it's
stop.
nothing.
You gonna get this sack. I always saw my dad's package growing up.
I didn't, but my grandpa, he didn't care. That was when he was the first. And he old.
Yeah.
Like he would take us swimming and stuff, and then he'd be like, "All right, let's get dressed," and we'd be like, "We all boy, what's the problem?
What's going on?"
And he's just old, and it was just wrinkly everywhere. We was like 8. We was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I remember we turned our back to get dressed, and he was like, what y'all so worried about? We was like, we don't want to see all this, man.
Oh,
I'll never forget that. That was the first time I ever seen grown men naked, because my dad didn't do that. And then I remember another time my dad was signing up for a gym membership, and they was taking him on the tour, and we went in the locker room, and it was just old sacks everywhere. Just
Saks Fifth Avenue, man.
And I was just like, I didn't sign up for this. It was awful.
I've never been comfortable with my nudity. Like, I've never been that guy in the gym that's walking through naked and like, nah, man. I need my little nudity privacy.
For me, it's not even for me. Don't nobody want to see this.
That's how I feel too. Like, you
know,
don't nobody want to see this.
Like if I'm naked and you happen to catch a glimpse, I'm not gonna be like, oh, sorry. But like I'm not purposely like in the gym. That men's locker room is the worst place.
They be posted up, leg propped up on the bench.
I've seen one guy doing the fan.
Yeah,
just on the balls. I was like, come on, man.
Once they do the Captain Morgan in the gym, I'm like, all right, man, you just too comfortable. Get dressed. At least make it look urgent that you're trying to cover up.
That's what I don't like. The casual, like, don't you have somewhere to be
extra
or something?
Nudity.
Or at least put your drawers on first and then do whatever you got to do. But they just be full on like, nah, I'm going to air dry this out and just let it ride. And it's like, this is disgusting.
I used to have a joke about that on stage, but then I heard like other comedians doing it too often. So I was like, let me
Because we've all been scarred, man.
Man, though.
We've all been scarred.
Just casual conversation while you're naked. I'm all for it in the women's locker room, though.
Oh, yeah.
When I be hearing stories about it, I was like, oh, yeah. It was naked just talking to you.
So let's describe that some more.
Yeah. Sabrina be giving me, like, locker room stories all the time. I'm like, man, this girl had a nice body. And oh, yeah? That's crazy. That's crazy. But in the men's, I be in and out. I pee, weigh myself, get the hell out of there. I take a shower at home.
Yeah, I never been only time I showered in the place was when I was in college and we had games or sport. If you had like sometimes if it was a home game, I showered at the crib.
Yeah.
But if we was on the road and we knew we had to get on a plane or a bus and travel far, I was like, nah, we would just shower there. That was probably the most I've been around nudity all the time. Was when we had to hit the showers after the game.
Hit the showers.
But home games, we was like, I remember one of our teammates showered at the home game, but at the place, we was like, we live 5 minutes from here. What are you doing this for? I just don't want the sweat on me, man.
Right.
We were like, it's 5 minutes.
It's
he
5
didn't
minutes
want it.
too long. Take this sack.
He didn't want it at all.
Take it. Speaking of sports, man, Super Bowl, was last night.
Did you watch?
I actually did.
I did.
Yeah, I watched it on my laptop. Yeah.
I went to a friend's house who I thought was having a party. Shout out to Ant, man. So my boy, I was in Bakersfield at my mom's, and I used to live there for like a year or two, so I got a few friends there. So I hit him. I was like, yo, I'm out here. What you doing for Super Bowl? He was like, oh, come through. I'm making brisket, chicken, chili, like a spread. So I assumed in my head, oh, Super Bowl party. Yeah. I show up, it's just me and him. Just me and him.
Y'all had all that food.
All
for
that
yourselves?
food. It was his wife was there, and then his kids stumbled in after.
Did you eat?
I ate, and I ate so much to where I couldn't like breathe. I'd take a break. Then after I ate all that, he had it. It was so much that his wife came in and just started making Tupperware to go and just gave me a grocery bag full of stuff and was like,
"That's beautiful.
We can't eat all this." Oh, I wasn't complaining at all, but I was just like, why did you make all this? It's just us. But
did he say why?
He just wanted to get on.
Some people just like,
I get it because I get like that. Once you get on the grill, you're like, well, the fire's burning. What else am I throwing? Throw something else, throw something else, throw something else. And then you look up and it's just so much. Yeah. And then so we took, we got a bunch at the crib right now, which is perfect because we haven't been cooking because we ain't been in the house.
Right.
So anytime we can grab something or whatever.
This is right on time.
But they started on the house at least. They started on Saturday.
Thank God.
And then Sunday, he hit us in the morning. He was like, do you guys mind if we continue? We was like, yes,
Yes.
go.
Do your thing.
And then I stopped by there today to drop off the dogs, and they was in there again. I was like, yeah, just
Yeah.
don't ever stop.
Right.
Go. Keep going.
Y'all can move in if you want while you're
Yeah,
working.
we want to get back in that house, get back to this routine.
I bet, man. That's a lot.
It's been a month, and it is trash.
That's a whole lot, man. I watched the Super Bowl on NFL.com. Because, I've been sliding back into football because I turned my back. And so I've been like, but I didn't want to go out my way for a game. I'm not that back in yet to where I'm like, I'm going to travel to go watch. And nah, man. So I happened to go to NFL.com just to keep up with the score. And it was on, the whole thing with the commercials. I was like, well.
You should have come over to ours. We just assumed you were at someone's party.
I wasn't going to go to
popular.
any party because I was like, man, then I'm really all the way back in.
We made food.
Oh, the food.
The
made
thing
food,
is,
yeah.
Super Bowl parties, no one, if your team is not in it, no one's going for the game. Like
Right.
that. You eating, and then you look up when you hear somebody be like, oh, you're like, oh, what happened? You look at the replay. But we eating, drinking, having a good
Right.
time unless your team is in it. It's just whatever. Like, everybody's showing up for the food and drinks and hanging
I used to love live tweeting during the Super Bowl. I would just tweet live. I would have my laptop and I would sit in front of the screen and just tweet as the game's going, commercials, halftime show. I'm commenting and joking on everything. But ever since the fiasco, I'm like, but if Kaepernick still want to work with them, like, why am I standing in the beef?
I think that's what did it for me, too.
Yeah,
I was like,
like,
okay, well, you were taking.
You trying to get back in? I'm like, well, why am I riding tough?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I watched it. A couple good commercials here and there.
They spent money, too, because them commercials this year had A-lists, and
Man, listen.
they spent money.
It already cost $5.something
$6
million for a 30-minute spot. And
Yeah.
some of these cats were doing multiple spots. Like
Yeah.
Tide, they kept that going with Charlie Day in the commercial.
Yeah.
He kept
Budweiser, they kept doing the
Man,
same one. I was
Budweiser, I'm
like,
like,
"Woo."
bread.
Budweiser has nothing but money. It's
Yeah,
Budweiser.
Man. Oh, yeah. Beer is just.
My thing is, no, I mean, I guess I get it. You just keep putting it in people's faces. They'll get it, I guess. And my thing be like, I feel like there's some brands that's so established, like, you don't have to advertise no more. Do you?
Right.
But, people
They
need that
always-
reminder, I guess.
Mhm. Keep that Bud Light coming.
Yeah. You know what? I do need a bud.
Man.
Them commercials,
Actually, this year was really weird because coming from New England, it's probably in recent memory the Patriots weren't there.
That was
that was
glad.
one of the best parts.
That was
Yeah.
one of
That
the
was one of
better
the
parts
best
of the
parts.
Super Bowl.
Y'all haters.
I'm sick of
They're
seeing
just
them.
hating on the Patriots.
just
They
tired
work
of it.
hard. They stick to a
Everybody
schedule.
works
Yeah.
hard.
They don't work as hard as the
They
Patriots.
be cheating.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Everybody
don't cheat
working.
as well
God.
either. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Everybody's working.
and not working like the Patriots.
Oh, my God.
We don't have anything to do there. It's cold. You work.
They work
you
harder
go
'cause it's
home.
boring.
There's a lot to do in New England.
It's frozen 6
Boston
months out of the year.
is New England, right?
Yes.
Y'all be
Yeah.
doing stuff in Boston
We
year
have
round.
one city for 6 states, one team, one baseball, one basketball, one.
mean-
For 6 states. LA has 2 teams.
But y'all got a good track record, though.
We do because we work hard.
Oh, here we go.
Speaking of the Patriots, did y'all see the Aaron Hernandez documentary?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
It was very interesting because I'm not excusing what he did or may have did. They never, actually the documentary left me with more questions than it answered.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, well, why did he
I
do
wanna
it?
know why
did
he
he
killed
do
his
it?
brother-in-law.
Yeah, I was like, and then the other 2 guys, was it him or was it the guy with the eye? Like, it was, and then I was just like, then I felt bad for him on the molestation tip. Because then you could tell he was completely confused about his sexuality because, what happened to him. And I was just like, this is wild. His chick was ride or die, though.
Oh,
She was
ride
definition
or die. Just
of
cold
ride or
as her
die.
sister. That's an awkward that scenario and situation
Man.
alone. I was like, the 2 sisters, then he kills your sister's fiance or husband or whatever.
Boyfriend. They were working their way up
that's,
to it.
That's a crazy dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And then you stick by your murderous husband.
Not even husband, fiance.
Fiance.
Oh, fiance, man.
You really think he didn't do it? I don't
No,
think
not that one. The other 2 guys.
The other 2, I don't think
Yeah.
a New England court would have brought the charges unless they were sure. Like, he's a patriot.
Yeah, the
Like,
other,
he's
but I'm
a
talking about
New England god, basically.
the guy. But the other 2 guys, once they started grilling the black dude,
Oh, so you bought into the
I was
defense
kinda
case.
like,
You really
The
bought
lawyer
that?
got you.
because I don't trust a thug. This dude's history is not nice. So I was like, I don't believe you any more than Aaron.
But that's the same MO he used in Florida when he shot into the car and just didn't kill those guys.
I don't know. But dude he had a lot going on.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I'm
Like-
saying he did it because I don't think those courts would have tried on
He
someone
did
that
something.
important.
He did, yeah. He was
did
involved.
something for
he
sure.
definitely did something.
But that's crazy.
Yeah, that whole thing was. I was like,
I didn't
man.
know. Because I followed the story a little bit, but I wasn't all in.
Yeah, I wasn't all in.
And so
like
when I
that.
was watching it, I was like, yo. It was a lot of those moments for me. I was just like, wow, okay. And a lot of people like, in the gay community, I've read it up in arms because they trying to say, oh, because he was gay, that's why he was murdering people. Like, you know, and I was like,
What?
Yeah, they were. That's how some felt the documentary was selling it because he was confused about his sexuality. This made him murderous out here on the streets, and I that's how they were kind of spinning it a little bit. And but there's something to that.
But you can't
CTE.
dismiss that either, though.
I mean, but that's still hard to swallow. I'm confused about my sexuality.
No, that's extreme.
know-
He obviously had other stuff going on. But what
Right.
I'm saying is, every time they interview the other guy, he was like, I was just gonna kill myself. Like when they're struggling with you
Well,
play that kind
suicide
of
is
sport.
a different thing.
Yeah, but maybe people lash out in different ways. So I'm not saying that's the sole reason, but I'm saying that probably played a
combination.
part. Yeah,
A little
of
cocktail.
what are the it was probably a bunch of hit between his dad losing his dad or his dad how he raised him and
Right.
that, and then maybe he had a mental unstable. Who knows? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm sure it was a bunch of things that made up the recipe that is Aaron Hernandez. I'm not blaming it on one thing at all.
And then, like, I was watching it, and they had a conversation with his mom. And he's like, "This is why I can't tell you nothing, this, that, and the third."
That
And I text my sons right when I saw that. I was like, "Y'all know y'all can tell me anything, right? Anything y'all can tell me." Because it just hit home that, like, a lot of kids don't feel that they can come to their parents with everything, with anything sometimes. So it's like, that hit home with me. It's like, yo, I want y'all to know y'all can come to me with anything rather than go down like a dangerous path.
My mom's just trash.
And so you always hear stuff like that. And I was like, yo, don't. I never want that relationship with my kids where it be like, I could never go to my parents and they on gangland or some kind of documentary or something.
Yeah. His mom was trash
His
because
mom
when
was
his
trash.
dad
like
died,
that played a part.
Yeah.
His mom dating like that.
Yeah.
That played a
Dating
part.
his
It was a
cousin's husband.
cocktail of
There's a lot.
BS that made all that.
And then I
like
didn't
the
know
friend
about the
said.
aunt. And the closest with the aunt, she was ride or die.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, there's a lot going on.
But
She was probably like, I
enabled.
got cancer. What I'm gonna tell? I got cancer.
yeah.
I'm out anyway. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
I ain't
do this
saying
before.
nothing.
Yeah, for what?
I'm on my way out.
For what?
Y'all see me in this courtroom.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he went to the Patriots and became like a townie. So he would have been better off if he'd gone
That's
to
what the
San
friend said.
Francisco.
That's
Some
what they
people
were
need
saying.
that. Some people
They were
need that, though,
hoping
like-
that he got,
Yeah.
drafted somewhere else.
Yeah.
A lot of people who be in stuff, they need to go somewhere else. When you
Right.
around your same friends and around, like you gotta, because it's hard to leave them behind.
Yeah.
And they always get caught up in the BS. Like his friend was like, if he would have went to the Raiders, I was like, nah, that probably not. But Seattle would have been good.
Well,
Somewhere
maybe
else, just
anywhere.
far away
Yeah.
from these people.
San
fresh
Diego.
start. Yeah, just get
San
away
Diego.
and just chill.
It's a nice environment.
I like
over
San
there.
Diego.
It's a
Puts
It's a
me in
nice
a good
vibe. And
mood.
if you got money in San Diego, that's a lot of peaceful visuals out there.
Yeah.
It is.
You know
San
what I
Diego. When I go out there, I'll be like,
Man,
this is a good feeling.
I
Man,
went
it
out
is
there a couple weeks ago. I was like, man, I wouldn't mind moving here. I kept asking people, how much you paying?
A lot less.
Man. But not really, though.
No, not really.
The San
Los
Diego's
Angeles?
pricey. Yeah. San Diego's
California
up there with
in general is
Yeah.
just getting out of control.
it. It's
San
unless
Diego,
you in
LA,
Fresno.
The Bay Area is
Bakersfield.
it's just insane. Yeah.
Bay Area, San Francisco is the most expensive city in America.
Places where you want to live in California are expensive.
Man.
Like you said, you go to Madeira off the 99. That don't cost nothing. Don't nobody want to be there.
Fresno.
Yeah, all the places in between the Bay and LA that you see on the 5 and 99, them is cool because don't nobody want to be there.
Modesto.
Madeira,
Bakersfield.
what's the other one? Visalia. Like these
I don't
just
even know where
There's
that
some
is.
Exactly.
areas where
It's
I don't
just-
even be wanting to do shows at. I'll be like, all right.
they be coming out though. They
They
having fun.
come out.
They come out. There's nothing to do. They pull up and they have a good time, man.
Man. But yeah, that thing was tough though. I was all in. And then you got the CTE element. You know,
Yeah.
when they looked at his brain, I was like, man, his brain was
That's what
had
I'm saying.
holes in
He had a
Holes.
cocktail.
man.
He had a cocktail of things
There's a
going
lot going on.
And then he just seemed like the way he would talk, he just seemed like he wasn't even like understanding of what's
Yeah.
stuff. He was kind of in his own world half the time.
His phone conversations to his fiance was weird. To me.
Weird.
I was like, okay.
Well, he's never had to be accountable. He's been a star athlete since he's 8 years old.
Yeah.
I was watching about him when he was in Florida, and they're talking about his athletics. I'm like, well, what was your major? Did they even address what his major was when he was in Florida?
Your major when you're a college athlete is your
It's football.
sport. Whatever sport
major
you're
was
playing, that's
football.
your major. They don't care. They even try to tell you what classes to take and what teachers will pass you with the least
Right.
amount of work.
It was probably that situation, so they didn't even go to the academics part.
Like, remember at
Yeah.
USC, like, everybody on the football team took the same class? Like, it's just like, well, you know.
You know what's
But
going
then, and they tell you what teachers stay away from, too, because some teachers hate athletes. And they be hate.
I'm not giving you no
Yeah,
pass.
they-
Well,
you be
they
like,
don't get
yo.
a pass. No one gets a pass.
No, but not
That's
even like a
fair.
pass. They don't. They're harder on that.
They're
Like,
harder.
they don't like them because they're like, you guys always get a pass, or you
Yeah.
always. But the athletes be looking at it like, we pay for all this. Like everything.
That's separate
You take away the athletics out of schools, they don't have much money. That's why it's such a big business.
Isn't that separate? The athletics money and the endowment
No,
money is
no.
separate.
All the
It's all coming
the
to the
reason why the
university.
universities push these sports off, because that's where
That's a lot of money.
that's where their money comes from. So
You
that's
look
why
at them
those kids get the
stadiums,
passes.
packed.
The stadiums
The
are
jersey
packed,
sales,
especially with like
the
Syracuse
everything.
and stuff like that.
People be like, they get a free education. Kiss my
Apparel,
ass,
all
free
of that.
education. They be getting money. That's why. Especially if the other students come at you. You be like, you guys, I'm like, what are you talking about? One of our games pays for this stupid building you're in. Shut your mouth.
But that type of mindset, you sound like the people that be like, my taxes pay your salary, pal. I hate that.
And that's also, I'm reading here, it's less than like 3% of schools that applies to. I know at my university, that athletic program wasn't paying for anything.
Oh, yeah. Depending
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
school.
depending-
Yeah.
It depends on the school for sure.
But these big D1 programs,
oh,
The
yeah.
big ones,
big
but
ones, yeah.
are they
like a regular university? Then
that's
you,
big money.
yeah, athletics, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Okay, I actually had a few questions about. Okay. Now, it seemed as though Aaron Hernandez, what switched in his life was his dad dying. His dad died suddenly. He was like 16
well, according to his brothers, when he got molested.
when he got molested. That came out at
Yeah.
the end. They
Yeah.
didn't mention it
but
for
I'm
the
saying
whole
he,
documentary.
but he said that's when he noticed the switch.
Then he got molested.
So that was another thing. And yeah, then his dad, then his mom. It was just he had a lot going on. Not excusing what he did, but he had a lot going on and probably should have been in therapy at a
Should have been
very
in
young
therapy.
age.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have. I was thinking he shouldn't have gone to Florida State. He should have gone
No.
to UConn and been with his brother.
Maybe.
So he had some
Yeah.
support.
Oh yeah, because Florida at that time. First of all, Florida in general is already a party area, and then
Yeah.
you a big time athlete in Florida or Miami or Florida State, like
Party Central,
forget
man.
about it.
Yeah.
With the nice location.
With no accountability either. These athletes. When I watched that 30 for 30 on the U, I was like, oh my God, like they could do no wrong.
Well, I mean, even with the Patriots in New England, I mean, there's nothing else to do. Everybody knows who you
And
are.
a lot of people don't understand too. These college towns, that's it.
Yeah.
Like when you go to these schools are huge and nationally known, but that town, that's all we
they
have
got is the
is
school.
all they
this.
got,
So
yeah.
we are all in. Like we were protected to the death. These coaches be wild and they don't care. Oh, he hit his wife. Well, how many times? That's not that bad. We got
They be
national
having a
championships to win.
Women be like.
Well,
Women
we're
do
gonna
be
get
lying,
to that
though.
later. I have a few more questions on Aaron Hernandez, but Women Be Lying
Women do be
came
lying.
up recently. I just wanted to know if you had any plan. We talked about financial plans. So if you pass, you have financial plans for your children. But do you have any sort of? Did you take them aside and say, "Look, if I go, this is how I want you to live your life"?
No, I haven't had that conversation yet.
Well, I obviously haven't.
Yeah, they gonna look at Keon like the
talking
toys, Dad. But yeah, I haven't had that conversation yet. But I'll be worried about the financial responsibility of one of them. You know what I mean? Like, would you do good with the money? You know what I'm saying? One I'm not really worried about, like, cause he's always been good with his money. But the other one, I'd be like, you're gonna make the right choices over here.
So would you just leave it evenly? Because my dad, his is, I'm the what do you call it? Beneficiary. And it's just on me to distribute.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like, you're the most responsible.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just hand it. And I'm not gonna cut my brothers short.
Right.
It's just like, here you go, boom, boom, done.
Yeah.
Because I was like, are you gonna break it up? He was like, no, you're just here. You're in charge. And I was like, all right, what's new?
Yeah.
But it's not about the finances. I mean, Aaron's problem wasn't the finances. It was he had no inner morals, it seems. He had no conscience. That once his dad left, he couldn't make any decisions anymore. So I would say, in case you were wondering, this is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
This is how I want you to live.
Right. You feel like, so you saying his dad didn't give him that message on the way out?
Well, his dad died suddenly.
Dad randomly, yeah. So.
Yeah.
No, but I'm confused on the question or
that if you really thought that if you weren't there to remind your sons every day, do this, act this way, do these things, would they on their own be able to become men?
I think there's still lessons to be, had. But I feel like, because there was a moment where Serene was like, fumbling with the tickets and the spending, and the stuff like that. But we've had conversations, about that, and since then, and I feel like a lesson was learned in those type of situations. So I think they would make the right decisions, But it'd probably be a fumble here and there because I'm still fumbling and I'm 42, but I feel like as far as Sincere goes, he's more, apprehensive about the spending of his money. So it's like, all right, I probably have to go less here and more here. But I feel like, some tracks have been laid to where it's like, all right, I messed up and now I'm trying to get back on the right track and the lesson is learned. Then you gotta play tough for a minute and be like, that's on you. I did this for you. You gotta come up with the balance yourself at this point. So, and then from there, I feel like, so I'm not really worried.
You're not. I've heard stories that when a parent is too overbearing and then they die, their kid just goes off the rails because they don't know.
Because you can't have extremes. You can't be too lenient and you can't be too strict. It has to be like you got to be in that middle to have a balanced kid. You know what I mean? And so when you're doing too much, you'll be like, man, as soon as you out the picture, I'm wild. I'm doing what I always wanted to do. And then so, parenting is all about trying to find that good balance. That's my biggest thing. Like, I'm trying to be a good balanced parent. Like every now and then I had to pull rank, but like I had to do that recently. Serene posted a picture on his Instagram of him just flashing money, and I had to text him like, take that down. I was like, nah, we're not doing that. And then he took it down. He didn't ask no questions or nothing. He was just like, took it down and then posted the other two pics. I was like, I'm all for the the show the fresh fit or the model pic, but like that, no, we're not doing that.
No.
Even if you had it like that, we not doing that. And he ain't got it like that, so it's like the double. We not doing
It was so funny because when I saw it, I was like, I wonder what did Tony see this shit?
Oh,
Because when I saw it, I was like, come on, man.
because he sent it to he like, yo, check out my latest post. He texted me and Sincere in the group chat, and I was like, all right, and I went and I was like, yo, you take this down. Yeah, and so he took it down though. He got it, so it was like, all right. Serene, man, like he listens. You know what I mean? And so that's what I respect about Serene is that, you know, he'll take it in, he'll listen. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, ah, yeah. It don't be a lot of like, you know, resistance and hard headedness and stubbornness. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Because they respect you because you explain to them.
So it's like, you know, and I always try to give them that, you know, respect. I want them to feel like men. And then I come in every now and then with the khakis on like a coach. Like, all right, you did good, but this is what you need to do in this situation. So I try to have that going rather than just listen to me.
Guidance instead of,
right.
You know, because a lot of people, and I get it, but a lot of people do the, you know, this is a dictatorship. It's
right, yeah.
And it's like, okay, but.
That could backfire.
That could backfire, and let them know, like, have more conversation. I'm not saying negotiate with kids, but have a conversation of make sure they grasp like why this is happening this way, or you know, like
more than just because I said
so. Because I said so is how we were all raised, just because I said, but like why is that? I don't get it.
Give us a deeper connection, and then
you know, like there's a lot of stuff that I look back on that I know now why you did, but then I was like, why?
Right.
You could have explained that, and I'd have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
We
like,
don't give kids enough credit.
Yeah.
In terms of what we tell them, like just cause, you know, because kids are great listeners. That's all they do. They listen and watch. Even when you think they're not watching, they playing with their toys. They still watching you. They watch everything you do.
Like even though they're little, when I tell them something, I'm like, if they can grasp it, I'm like, does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like why? You know, and I know Kendrick don't. He don't get it. But Keelan's kind of sometimes I'll be like, you see how that doesn't? Oh, okay. Yep. I'm like, yeah, just cause I'm not gonna just. If I just tell you not no or don't do, you just like you just hating. You just don't want me to be like, well, this is why. Thing. Yeah. And it's just like, no, this is why. You know, A, B, and C.
And you remember that too, like growing up, you'd be like, I remember my mom wouldn't let me do this just because she didn't like such and such face. You know, you don't want to have that as the legacy. You know what I mean?
But trust your gut instinct is another thing. If she had explained it, like, it's not because I don't like his face, but I have an instinct that's telling me this. And if she'd explained it like that, then maybe you would.
That's still an explanation, though.
Yeah.
It's still something other than because I said so or stay out of grown folks' business, which is how we were all raised.
Stay out of grown folks' business.
That was just like
the
go-to.
Not helpful at all.
Because we still watching. Be like, oh, grown folks' business. Huh?
And we're grown folks soon enough. Like 10 years after that, all of a sudden we're grown folks. It's our business.
Yeah.
I had a question. So technically, Hernandez was in breach of contract by murdering those people, at least one, maybe three.
Man, they put that in the contract, huh? If you kill somebody, you don't get this money.
I'm sure the Patriots contract is this thick. Like, they're not messing around with anything. But then he killed himself.
Right.
And then they overturned the law for him to have that specifically, have that conviction stick. But do you think the Patriots should pay any amount of money to his family?
I mean, if they actually care like they said they did. Because the kid, the kid ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
He didn't play any games.
The kid and that. Fiance. I feel like, you know, did they pay him for money earned?
Yeah, because he was killing. Him and Gronk were killing.
I feel like he should be paid for the games he played.
Yeah.
And just that should be given to his family. Anything extra like down the road? No. Like
not
the rest of the $40 million?
He had outplayed. Because a lot of rookies, they get these rookie deals, but then they outplay their rookie deal. Like, I signed for this, but you didn't know out the gate I was going to come in killing. So pay me what I'm owed for what I did for this franchise.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of people that outplay their contracts, like, and then they'll re-up and re-sign or whatever. But, like, you know I played way more than this, you know, 100,000 that you gave me. I played worth millions. Like, let me get that.
So I think they should get that.
he should get for the game he played, but he was in breach of contracts. You can't go killing people.
Oh yeah, I agree
yeah.
that you can't be killing people and then your family's still reaping the benefits. I totally get it, but the work that was put in,
Yes.
and this is not. It's no longer about him because his family was innocent. Well, especially his child.
His family didn't play any games either.
No, but I'm just saying though, like it's all connected. Like if
he made that money.
You
for the
value
girl.
family as an organization. They should be able to. They shouldn't suffer because of what he did.
Yeah.
You don't
They
think
only get to suffer, because he still did good work for the team. The family should benefit from that good work. rather
So
than
you
just
think you
suffer.
should get the signing bonus because it is a signing bonus.
Exactly.
You think you should get the signing bonus of 15
The
million?
extra money was for the next 5 years, right?
Yeah.
He got
Something like that.
he got.
So he didn't play
40
those
million.
5 years.
No.
So forget
None of that.
But the signing bonus and back pay for what he did, give them that.
And they're not going to
Especially
give it
if
to him
you
on a
are
technicality.
family, like you say. That's the thing. These organizations are full of it. Like you see some colleges and some organizations, they will reach back and help families or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They meant by it. But most of them just, we family. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You
But
don't
he
care.
he's a black sheep.
But
they
it
turned
is
his back on him.
sticky too because he murdered people and went out on the field and killed it. No pun intended.
Yeah.
So he was out there killing while he actually murdered people. So that's like, man, even though he was playing and putting in the work, should we pay you even though you just murdered people? Like you shouldn't be getting millions and hundreds of thousands. You just murdered 2 people.
Yeah, and New England is so small when you look at the numbers. Him killing 3 people affected hundreds of people.
Those guys were Cape Verdean, man.
Yeah.
So that, huge family. They was all up in that courtroom and stuff like that. And I feel sorry for those guys, man. Mm-hmm. Just a night out on the town, they get murdered.
Did nothing.
Did nothing. That's incredibly sad, man.
I'll be right back.
Man, I can't imagine. Like, I guess I'll go to the club, and then you don't come back home.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Now, I understand that it was a signing bonus,
Right.
but I do think you have to set an example.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone ever thinks,
Anybody's murdering anybody, your family's gonna pay the price. So you gotta make a better decision.
yeah. And people are going to be like, she's just defending the Patriots because she's from there.
Right. Yeah. I
But-
get it, man. It's tough. But I feel bad for the kid. Wait, how many kids he get?
He had 1 daughter.
1 daughter, man. And that, But, that's what happens when your parent murders somebody, finances are gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Across the board, whether you play in the NFL or whether you just a regular cat from Clovis, New Mexico. Your family's gonna suffer. And so
Especially if you're the sole breadwinner.
yeah.
His fiance, as far as I know, was Aaron Hernandez's fiance.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't the computer programmer,
Right.
Cheyenne Jenkins. She was married to Aaron Hernandez,
Mm-hmm.
Cheyenne Jenkins. So, I mean, what did he think was going to happen?
Man. That's tough, man.
That really is a shame.
Mm-hmm.
All right, maybe we'll wait 2 minutes for Keon to come back before we start Johnny Depp. You just have to cut the. Oh no, you can't cut it out because the new system.
Oh, we can
huh?
just keep going, man.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he can chime in when he get back.
Okay, we'll keep on Aaron Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, he was a football god because everyone plays football. Like all these little kids play Pee Wee, little less play high school, a lot less play college.
Right.
But to go from college to the pros, how difficult is that? Keon, you played some college sports. How difficult is it to go from college to the pros?
Very.
Near impossible. Damn near impossible. It's like 0.3% or something like that.
It's super
small.
rare.
It looks like it's easy work because of how we follow athletes now. Like you see them from 9th grade go through. Like we've been watching Zion since he was like a sophomore in high school. So he's going to. It just seems like, oh, this is regular LaMelo Ball. But this is 2 kids out of hundreds of thousands of kids. Like it's
Right.
It's
Yeah.
super. Like it's nobody. it's like it's by the numbers. It's almost impossible to go to the league. It just seems so obtainable because we watch all these athletes, but it's not normal. Even if you look at, of all the kids I grew up playing with, I think from elementary, then middle school, high school, like only a few of us play. And this is, leagues in different cities, and only a few of us even played college.
Yeah.
And one guy signed with the NBA team, and he didn't even make it. And so that's it. Out of everybody, nobody has made it. So it's just like that's how small it is.
When you tally up all the athletes in school, high school, whatever, college, and you compare that to the numbers of slots available on these professional teams, it's minuscule. It's like,
not enough.
Ain't nobody getting in here.
Yeah.
Super exclusive club. That's what it is, a super exclusive club.
So he had to have been amazing
Yeah.
in real life. Just incredible.
He was killing it.
Which he was. And he would have been a higher pick had he not had them issues in Florida.
Yeah.
He would have been a first-round pick.
That's a shame. I see these girls all the time, and they're about 12, and they're like, I'm going to this Olympics. I'm going to this Olympics. We got 3 spots every 4 years, 2 maybe.
Yeah.
And you encourage them, but you're like, the chances of you going.
But you gotta have that mindset though.
Yeah.
As an athlete, you gotta be like, I'm going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you just freakishly gifted to where it's just like, I'll just be doing it. And then,
They're all going for the same Olympics. They're all 12. They're
Right.
all going for the same one. And it's like just at this rink alone. And then you move past. And I encourage them, like, yes, you are.
Yeah,
if you believe
gotta
you
have
are.
that drive to be like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep doing this, and then
That's why I give my cousin so much props. She do track, and she finished 8th in the Junior Olympics in the long jump or something like that. And I was like, yeah, but you finished 8th in the country. Like not in your league, or even you had to go past here, then go past here, then go compete against everybody in the states.
Yeah.
And you finished 8th. So you were the 8th best person out of I don't know how many thousands of kids. Like that's huge.
Yeah. It's incredible.
She went to the Junior Olympics and killed. And I was like, all right.
okay.
Okay.
Tough, man.
Let's move on to some celebrity news. Are y'all following what happened with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard?
I remember hearing like he hit her. It was like some abuse situations going on. I know it affected like his his acting stuff, but I didn't really follow it too close. You know what I mean? And so I was just like, oh, that's wild. And then I just kept it moving.
Well, this kind of goes back to the men's rights we discussed a few weeks ago. I'll give a brief recap to anyone who hasn't been following it. But Johnny Depp is seeking to clear his name after he's been dragged for alleged domestic violence against his ex-wife Amber Heard. He filed a $50 million defamation of character suit against her due to an opinion piece she wrote in the Washington Post about surviving domestic violence. She didn't name him, but the piece led to Depp being canceled. Recently, the Mail leaked audio of Heard admitting that she hit Depp many times. Depp also alleges that Heard threw bottles at him that resulted in injury and defecated in his bed.
Oh,
Jesus.
wow.
She's a psycho.
Yo.
That's what he says, that she defecated in his bed.
Yo. Toxic.
Yeah.
Jesus
so she should have
Christ.
to pay for the money he lost for movies or whatever he could have did. She should have to pay for it and then move on.
They dropped him from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's a lot. So I'm saying he got to get that money back. And
you know, like when people usually sue, it'd be like a ridiculous amount. Like $50 million for Johnny Depp is very realistic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where is she going to get
Like
$50
Pirates
million?
of
She should have thought about that when she was doodling in beds.
Because Pirates of the Caribbean, for him to lose that, he would have probably got $50 million just for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he probably would have got like a salary, and I think he gets back ends on pirate movies.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yo, bro,
That's a lot.
very much that's warranted. And then the fact you doing all this piece and you writing this, did you mention that you were putting hands on him in the little piece?
I don't understand though. Like, was he convicted of anything?
No.
How was he canceled if he wasn't convicted enough?
That's
That's
all it
Twitter.
takes.
That's what I'm saying. That's just whack. That's just whack that everybody is like, oh, if somebody says something, it's real. You know, man or women, no matter what the situation, though, if somebody says something, it's just real. It's like, I literally just made a video about that on IG. I was like, I wonder what my first rumor is going to be. Because whatever it is, you guys are going to believe it.
Right.
'Cause that's just what it is. That's just how people operate. They love somebody could be like, Keon and Tony are lovers. Somebody going to be like, I seen
knew
it,
it.
or
I
whatever.
saw it the
And
whole
they'll
time.
just run with it. And it's like, how did you get, and that's just it.
They're going to clip what you just said from this show.
That's the narrative.
That's
He
it.
said it in this
He
episode.
said it. And it's just like, and they'll take the clip, they won't put the whole thing out.
That's why they're
It's just-
sitting close together.
It's just like, you put something out and that's just it. And I think people are so afraid nowadays of not believing victims. You could just say anything and then that's just it.
And now this is fuel for the people that want to, denounce the Me Too movement. See, they all be lying. And now you give fuel to them by, not being 100% and owning your half of the domestic abuse. I'm not saying that, Johnny Depp may or may not put hands on her. I don't know. But the fact that she put hands on him,
It was a back and
you
forth.
got to be real in that. You got to come out the gate and be like, yeah, we put hands on each other, rather than just play the one-sided victim. Because then you're not being transparent here.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the Me Too movement because she was a leader in the Me Too movement. And so was Asia Argento, who recently had that case come out against her that she had molested a boy.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, and it's just like, bro, this is how I don't like people having misconceptions about me or like anything. So I'm very mindful of like, yo, Tony's squeaky clean. That's why I'll be like, I'll post a video in a minute. I've cheated. I've sent dick pics. I've shoplifted. I'm always like, yo, I ain't who you think I am. I always put my dirt out there like, yo, get that image off me.
But people will do that too. On the flip side of, they gonna believe what they want to believe on that sense too. Like every time they watch an episode, even though they've been watching this for a year, they be like, y'all cuss? You ain't been watching this for the whole year?
Right.
People will put out what they like. Our crew in general, people swear we don't do nothing ever. Like if I go somewhere and they see me with a drink, they be like, I've talked about this 1,000 times. I didn't know. Did you? I just Tony cusses. Yes. Have you not seen his stand? I didn't hear it. The people will.
People tell me that the night of. I was like, I was just cussing up there. I just didn't feel like it. Which I get.
Yeah, I get it.
Because some people cuss and it just flows through. And some people cuss, you be like.
Like Cat Williams, I feel every cuss word he says.
But when Kevin Hart cusses, I don't hear it.
Yeah,
even though he be cussing his ass off. But it just doesn't stick.
Because you like him more? Or is it
no,
different?
it's just delivery and how you talk and everything. But and even with the either the drinking or the smoking, it's like if you don't do something excessively to other people, then you are like clean. Like now, like now that you don't. If just because I'm not falling down, driving off the road, now you don't drink. It's like, well, I do it all the time. I'm just an adult about it, and I do it responsibly.
Right. Because The Rock, he has a squeaky clean image, but he be cussing. And he be
stay
drinking.
cussing. And
he has a tequila out.
Yeah.
So he always talk, I'm going to have some tequila and this, that, and the third. It's for his brand, but he be cussing, but it just doesn't stick.
He cusses a lot, too.
He does.
A lot.
Yeah. And it just doesn't stick. And you be like.
So it's all or nothing with the public. They can't.
Yeah,
they see you how they want to see you,
They
and
do.
they just hold on to that. And sometimes you got to snap them out of it, and sometimes they just don't.
And a lot of times they draw it from nothing. Like they just kind of like, where'd you get this from? Why did you come to that conclusion? And sometimes it'd be like it'd be a 15-second clip that they saw, or or they just. Saw you interact with somebody else, not knowing what was going on that day or whatever, and then that's just it. You're just that now, and it's like
my clean image makes sense because if they saw me on tour with Kev or like it's a clean show, so I don't cuss at all. So they'd be like, "Yo, if that's their first time seeing me, like yeah." And then even my voiceovers, I don't cuss that much in them. So it's like, you know. So I get it now, you know what I mean? But like when you see me on stage at a regular show, you know. But I'm pretty PG-13
Yeah,
anyway.
PG-13. There's 2 in there.
Every
maybe.
now and then, shit, ass. Oh, excuse me, kids. You know, I'll be forgetting the boys are there sometimes. But, you know, so sometimes I get it, but, you know, it's how they want it.
Do you think Johnny Depp can recover his reputation?
Well, once
With
she
this,
said that,
yes.
yeah, hell yeah. Because now people, like he said, that all the ones that are always like, people be lying, are going to jump right back. We saw her, give him his money back. And some of these companies, whatever, are going to re-sign. And he's a big draw.
And he's talented.
And he's talented, very talented.
People want to work with him. It's just like, and now with this, be like, you know what, bring Johnny. Because I was wondering, like, you know, I'm not sure that was the reason why they pulled Johnny Depp was going to be in this movie with Forrest Whitaker about the murder of Notorious B.I.G., but they just pulled it. Like, I remember seeing trailers and everything. I was like, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. And then they just snatched it off the calendar. I don't know if it had anything to do with that or, like, some other issues. Because I know it was, like, some other issues on set during filming involving Johnny Depp.
Didn't he punch a crew member during
It was something like
shoot?
that. So I was wondering if it was a combination of that and this.
And they was like, well, if he hit the
Let's
crew
just pull
member,
it.
he hit her.
Yeah. He hit somebody on set. So I don't know. I was looking forward to that movie, though. But they pulled it. And
Now, I'm not saying that he's a violent person. Maybe when he was married to her, you know, he got more violent. That's what everybody says. So I'm just saying he apparently punched a crew member when he was filming. But I'm not going to say this character.
This is who he's been this whole time. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But she admitted to hitting him, and so that changes the whole, you know.
Yeah.
And as a person, you got to come clean on your end, or you lose all credibility. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, he hit me, and then just sit there quietly about what you did. You know what I mean? So, but even when I talk about like exes or girls that I've dated and dealt with, like if I tell Sabrina about a situation, I always add in mine. Well, you know, I was whack for this, or I did say this. Like I never want to present it as she just crazy,
which is ridiculous because in most situations it's somebody did something as well. Like no matter what you're talking about, it's usually there's a, you know, both parts had something. Even if you are 10% innocent and they're 90% crazy, well, still own your little 10%. You know,
slice.
still own.
Well, I did say this, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then she went off. She didn't have to burn the house down, but this is what I said to make her burn the house down.
It's just like people always want to be, which I don't understand why people love being 100% innocent or right or
because they want the
whatever.
They want the pity and the sorrow
like,
and the
you know,
uplift.
it's nothing wrong with not the pursuit of perfection is insane.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be the bad guy.
Like even when I read the comments of this thing, I'm like, you guys realize we're just two guys, right? Giving an opinion. We're gonna be wrong all the time. Correct me. That's fine. If I said something wrong, and you say, oh, actually this happened. Oh, thanks for the info. Like I don't know everything at the top of my head, or there's gonna be things you don't agree with. Like you can voice your opinion. That's fine. Like the pursuit to be like always right or always, you know, people, you know, you want people to approve. Like no, we are all flawed human beings. That is stupid to want the perfection thing. That's dumb. Like I sit in my flaws. Like I be doing. That's fine.
Completely unrealistic.
That's fine. And I want people to tell me. Like when people correct me, like, actually, that's not true in 1978. But, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't want to be out here spewing out the wrong thing, looking like an idiot. So I don't mind the corrections or at all. And if I did something and played my part, this is what I did. Like,
Okay. We have a couple audience questions.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it.
The first one is from Quentin T. It's actually for me.
Quentin Tarantino.
That's
Right.
what I thought too.
That's
Is he
what's up.
watching?
Right.
He asked, when my pops came back into my life, how did it work out? I've got a great relationship with my dad. I love my dad. And what's really interesting is to know how much my personality was formed from him, even though I met him later. So how much of your personality is actually genetic. People don't really realize this, but like when identical twins come back together and they're like, well, I do that too. And it's like, yeah, a lot of how you think, a lot of how you act just comes from.
I believe that.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Because I'm
The people
just
be
like
acting
my
and looking
mom.
just like they, you know, just like they.
I'm
parents.
just like my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like my mom.
Ridiculous.
And my brothers are like my dad.
It's
my mom
ridiculous.
is very, whatever. My dad is either up or down, all over. And my brother is so much like him that and so conscious of it that he purposely tries not to do things. Because
Talking
he's
about
like,
your youngest?
Keith.
Oh, Keith.
My middle brother. I think Kyron's too young to be there yet.
Oh, okay.
To be cognizant of
Yeah.
let me fix me or whatever. But Keith is at the age where he's like, I see myself doing this.
Right.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Let me course correct.
Right. That's
on
dope.
How we handle situations. Yeah, because like I said, we flawed. Self-reflection. I'm surprised at how people don't like growth. As far as even if let's say we said something a year ago, come back and be like, you know what? I don't agree with that. What I
Right.
said. Oh, you said that. Well, yeah,
Right.
I don't feel that way anymore.
Right,
People
right.
don't allow that anymore.
No.
They don't want
You
that.
say it.
Yeah, they don't want it could be 3 weeks ago. That's why I feel iffy on the tweet thing when people get in trouble for the tweets. I went through and looked at some of the stuff I said when Twitter was hot. It was wild. And some of the stuff I kept because it's just hilarious. But others, I'm like, well, I don't even feel that way anymore. So
Let me take
what's
it
the
down.
Take
point?
it down.
Yeah.
I deleted my Twitter. I deleted my Facebook. You can't get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me on Instagram.
I got all my tweets up. I don't know
I
what's
just
in there.
deleted
I
that.
took some because I
There's
was
so
like,
many I got to dig through. I'm like, I can't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at certain
you.
topics. That's what I did.
Oh, you can go by
Yeah.
topics.
But I looked at some of the stuff, like even watching myself say that, I'm like, well, that was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just where I was at that time, and it's just that happens.
I posted an apology to something on Twitter about something I may have said back a while ago, and then I posted, like where I'm at now. I can't remember what it was about, but I tweeted it not that long ago, and I was just like, it was just the growth. You know what I mean? Like you change your perspective. And what sucks about my biological father situation, I'll never be able to see the similarities that we have because he died. So it's like, man, I would like to know what he does that I also do, but I never got that opportunity.
Does he have any other children?
Yeah, he has 3 or 4 daughters.
Have you met them?
Not in person.
Okay, it might be interesting to meet them.
Yeah, just to see if we have any similarities.
Or they'll tell you, oh, he did this just like that. He touched his face this way.
Yeah. So I'll be like, man, it'd be nice. Because I always regret that I didn't meet him in person just to see him, living and breathing in the moment. But I'll be doing that too. Because when I look at pictures of him, it's not enough. It's like, I don't see a resemblance between us. It's like, I look just like my mom. So it's like, so you look for that like, oh, I do that too. As a kid, you want to see that. Like, I mean, that's where I get that from, But so I'm only getting really like one side of it, like, because me and my mom are mad similar. So it's just like, that's all I got to draw on, But I would have liked to have seen those other elements. I'm like, man, passing away ass, dipping out early. You know what I mean?
How did he die?
It was like a heart issue.
Well, you have to look after your heart then.
Mm-hmm.
So at least you know that.
Right. So I was just like, man, this is all I got to go on.
Well, my dad lives at the top of a mountain. He bought the land at the top of the mountain when there was no one else around because he didn't want anyone to bother him. Now people buying land around him, and it's just like, I'm just trying to sit here and look at the beach and smoke my joint, have nobody bother me.
Right.
And then people building houses here, people building houses there. And I'm like, okay, that's where I get that from. I just want to sit here,
Right.
smoke my joint, look at this. I'll write something down every once in a while.
Right.
And that's a lot of that's
The
genetic.
people coming over here. The nerd.
There weren't even roads. There wasn't even water. He's like, I had to hike to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And then people saw that I have a house at the top of the mountain. And then they built a road up the top of the mountain.
Oh, wow. So how would he get out of the house and,
It's Antigua. You walk on the dirt road. It's still a lot of dirt roads.
So what, he drove to a certain point, then he had to hike to his house?
Well, you can drive, but it's not a
an
nice
actual road. Yeah.
If you're not like a good driver, I wouldn't recommend driving there.
You got to have an SUV just to get up there.
Yeah.
You can't go up there in a sedan.
No, or you could hike it.
Okay.
That's why he's so fit. even now, my dad is super fit. He
Yeah.
hikes up to his house every day.
How old is he?
He is 62 now.
Okay.
Great shape.
Yeah.
Incredible shape.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's his diet like?
He only eats fish. He catches fish in the sea.
Oh,
Eats the
Yeah,
organic.
he a mountain man. Like, he's a man.
got a beard?
man's.
Yes.
Flannel shirts.
No, he has
boots,
nice shirts.
beanies.
He's got real thick dreads. Like his hair is really nice still.
Uh-huh.
Like he's got
He's black?
yeah, he's dark.
Okay.
Because my mom
I
was
never
white.
knew which parent of yours was because your mom is white?
My mom was white.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And my dad's dark.
Gotcha.
He's just chilling up at the top of the mountain. He go catch his fish, come back, eat his fish.
Man.
and vegetables.
Organic.
Just
Completely
look,
organic.
think about his life. Skip
Yeah.
rocks across the thing. Reflect.
He's that guy that used to be an assassin, and they come up. We need you for one last mission. They got to go all the way up to that. And
You gotta go to the top of the
I
mountain.
don't do this no more. You know that. You know that's the perfect movie scenario.
Yo, maybe.
Yes.
Here's an interesting comment that I'm going to put a question on because I thought it was really interesting. It's from Joey D. He said, most dudes really don't be out here smashing everything that moves. It's a lot of women that share the same baby's daddies and say it's all men. So my question is, if you had a friend that you knew was mentally or physically unsound, like he's your friend, but you're like, oh man, this guy always does this stuff. I don't like it. And he told you he was considering becoming a sperm donor for money.
Oh, wow.
What would you tell him?
I'm kind of brutally honest
Yeah.
with my friends, so I'll be like, I don't know, man. You
Think
might
you
not
be
want your
spreading
sperm
them
out in the
genes out,
community,
bruh.
man. Because you wild, man. And then I would give the examples as to this. Look at what you be doing. You want this? And so, but I would keep it real.
You would?
Yeah.
Keon.
I'm very blunt with my friend. I mean, everybody knows. That's why people don't tell me stuff. Because I'm very, I would tell the truth.
You would tell them?
Absolutely, man.
It
You
might-
ain't a good friend if you
But
don't.
yeah, when I'm talking to my real friends and my family, I don't hold any. I'm being honest with you because I care about. I know you. Like, plus, I feel like I can do this because of the relationship we have. Like, I'm not coming from a place of malice or I'm just telling you the truth, and this is just what it is. These
So
boys
even-
get together.
Even if you never had to meet the kids, because it would be, my chapstick again, just kicked around everywhere.
I just be thinking about the kids. Even though I'll never see them, but they going to be out there in the community screwing up.
He can make 100 of them.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And my friend has to be a complete screw up for this to be an issue. You're like,
Yeah.
no, your sperm is wild.
Yeah.
You know what
He's
I
like,
mean?
I'll help you look for other jobs. You can.
And then we can't keep track of the kids. So
Hey.
it's
They're
like,
just out there.
Yeah,
They could be different cities.
right.
I know.
Yeah, man. We wouldn't even have a litmus test kid. Like, if he got his girlfriend pregnant, then we can like, all right, this kid's pretty normal. All right. What if you never know.
I think I would have to be honest, just because I care about the world.
got
I
to
would
be,
have to be
man.
like, nah, you
You gotta be honest, man.
So everybody in the comments section, would you tell your friend if they should not become a sperm donor? Let us know.
Let us know, man. And that's it for another issue of Daddy
My
Issues.
sperm is
I
all
always say
running
that.
around. Jesus.
I always say another issue of Daddy Issues. Another episode of Daddy Issues. Remember, if you guys got questions for us, ask us in the comments section on YouTube, and we'll tackle them on the show. And let us know on that last question. If you got a reckless, ridiculous friend, they want to sperm donate, would you let them? I think a lot of y'all would. Don't be trying to, give the right answer here. Be honest. 'Cause a lot of friends ain't honest with their friends.
Hell no. That's why we in a lot of situations.
Man.
People don't be telling their friends the truth at all.
At all.
Just, well, I didn't want to hurt their feelings. Well, you're
Man.
not their real friend. then.
Forget their feelings, man. Listen, I'll be at the Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach next Wednesday. Then I'll be at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood that Thursday. And then I'll be in Sacramento Valentine's Day weekend at Laughs Unlimited. Pull up to any of those. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to Arlington, Texas, February 20th through the 23rd. So pull up. Keon, what you got?
I'm at House of Comedy in Phoenix, Arizona, Wednesday through Sunday. This Wednesday through so the dates 5 through 9. I'm there doing 6 shows, I think. Yeah. So come to that. If you in Phoenix, Arizona, or the surrounding areas, come to that. And then next week, I'll know next week.
Yeah, and you can find me at Tony Baker Comedy on everything.
Keon Poley on everything.
Yeah.
KeonPoley.com has my full schedule, my show schedule when I'm by you or in your city.
Full schedule. All right, until next time, man, we out here.
We out.